The commandments are a sacred symbol of the covenant between God and the people of Israel. The second commandment has such an important significance for God. But one mysterious thing drew our attention. Is it possible that God wanted to build a statue of Asherah many years later? Let's begin. Exodus 20 verses 3-4. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. Idolatry started way back, even before the time of the second commandment during Abraham's days. All of Abraham's ancestors were idol worshippers. Terah, Abraham's father, was a priest for a foreign work. Abraham was different. He didn't believe in statues of wood and stone. He challenged the whole world with his beliefs. As a result, he was put on trial before Nimrod and threw into a fiery furnace for the truth he believed. Even the Israelites, before they were freed from Egypt, worshipped idols. As a result of the great suffering Israel had suffered in hard labor in Egypt, God decided to send Moses to redeem them from Egypt. After all the miracles God did for the Israelites, there was a crucial moment when God made an agreement with the people through the 10 Commandments. One commandment that strongly connected God and the Israelite was the second commandment. This commandment says no other God. Creating statues or images of anything and bowing down to them is strictly forbidden. Am a jealous God. This phrase, jealous God, shows up 7 times in the Bible. 6 of them refer to idolatry and God's response to it. Only in one place, in the book of Nahum, does the phrase, jealous God, refer to other crimes, and to other people. In relation to the second commandment, God's jealousy is a way of saying, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. This means that God is tougher on the descendants of those who sinned by worshipping idols. But this is only for those who actively hate God because that hatred gets passed down through generations. Humans can't read minds, so they can't know if someone's sin was driven by hatred and how much it affects their descendants. So, people should use this as a measure of mercy and not punish others for their ancestors' sins. Some commentators say that the idea of the iniquity of fathers befalls sons only applies to little children who are still closely connected to their parents. They might sometimes face consequences for their parents' wrongs. Older children, who are already considered people in their own right, are not punished, and for this reason, it is said, everyone in his sin shall die. God is a jealous God both towards his haters and toward his lovers. If people do kindness beyond what they must, and obey the commandments out of love beyond external technical existence, God remembers these deeds for many generations. This understanding has been seen throughout the ages, with people like David the king, Jehu, the king of northern Israel, and in the words of Jeremiah. In the second commandment, like in the first, God talks directly, speaking in the first person. Where was Moses in the 10 Commandments? To answer the question, we will read the passage that was written after the 10 Commandments. When the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself and we will listen. But do not have God speak to us or we will die." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." The people remained at a distance, while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Exodus 20 verses 18 to 21. During the 10 Commandments, the Israelites worshipped the golden calf. The Israelites became frightened between words and backed away, asking Moses to mediate between them and God. To keep the 10 Commandments in order, this tale was written after all the commandments, even though it actually happened during them. Consequently, some of the 10 Commandments were spoken directly to Moses and the Israelites together, and the rest were spoken through mediation between Moses and God. The first 2 commandments were God speaking directly to the Israelites. For the rest, Moses relayed God's words to the Israelites. After all of the people saw voices and lightning at the end of the 10 Commandments, God added, "Then the Lord said to Moses, Tell the Israelites this, You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven, do not make any gods to be alongside me, do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gods of gold." Exodus 20 verses 22 to 23. In simple words, this rule says we shouldn't make idols out of silver or gold, even if it's for worshiping God. In the second commandment, there is a great secret hidden. What is it? Who were these other gods? Why did God want the Asherah statue to be placed in the house of God and in Jerusalem? The Bible mentions a statue of God 18 times, and this time it's stressed, don't make a statue or an image of other gods' faces. God informs that the Israelites become corrupt when they have a statue of other gods, either male or female, to the same gods who existed at that time. So that you do not become corrupt and make for yourselves an idol, an image of any shape, whether formed like a man or a woman. Deuteronomy 4 verse 16. It is decreed by God that anyone who makes a statue or mask of God's face will be cursed. Cursed is anyone who makes an idol, a thing detestable to the Lord, the work of skilled hands, and sets it up in secret. Then all the people shall say, Amen. Deuteronomy 27 verse 15. Breaking this rule means facing death. If someone uses statues and masks for other gods, God will not only punish them but also their descendants. In the book of 2 Kings, some mysterious events unfold. One mystery involves Manasseh, who, surprisingly, follows God's command. He made a statue of God named Asherah and put it in the same house where God instructed David and Solomon in Jerusalem. This way, Asherah's statue is always next to God. He took the carved Asherah pole he had made and put it in the temple, of which the Lord had said to David and to his son Solomon, "In this temple and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever." 2 Kings 21 verse 7. The second mystery is quite surprising. Even though the entire verse was copied, the core of the statue changed from the goddess Asherah to God himself. Manasseh placed the statue in God's house in Jerusalem. In other words, Afar observed that the verse altered the words from "a statue of Asherah" to "the image he had made." He took the image he had made and put it in God's temple, of which God had said to David and to his son Solomon, "In this temple and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever." 2 Chronicles 33 verse 7. The second commandment prohibits both making idols and worshipping idols. It also prohibits the worship of pagan gods such as the ancient pagan gods of rain, fertility, and all the other nature gods. The problem with this understanding of the commandment is that most people think that it is irrelevant to modern life. However, The commandment is relevant to modern life because we have as many false gods as the ancients did, and if we identify false gods and avoid worshipping them, we will eliminate one barrier to a good world. When anything else is worshipped, bad things result. Even things that are almost always seen as quite beautiful can lead to terrible results. We hope you learned something new today. If you did, give this video a like and share it with your friends. You can share with us what you know by leaving a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative and entertaining content. Thank you so much and see you next time.